I'm in the shop at Sparks Motors. It's in the evening, so I decided to do some work on the rough terrain forklift. One of the biggest issues is there's two tires flat and a bunch of other stuff. So as I was going to work on this, I decided I'll put this up on YouTube. Since this forklift model, I can't find much about it on the internet. It seems to be sort of a rare model. I mean, they had the 10,000 pound model, and there's pictures and all sorts of stuff on the internet, but almost nothing on these RT6000s. And what I did is I wrote down the exact type this is for other people's reference. The RT6000, at least the one I have here, I'm not sure about the one I already got out of the mountain, was an RKF-060-M01. That was the model of it, and it was made by Baker Industrial Trucks in 1962. So this is an old forklift, but it is a beefy forklift. Several of my friends have these forklifts, and they like them, but usually what happens is it's just hard to find parts or to get for them. So it looks actually very easy to make. Even if there's some of the parts I can't get, they look pretty easy to make or rebuild. So I don't really see an issue there. The engine is apparently easy to find. There may be a question on the transmission. So I'm inside, and if you notice, I got a headlamp on because now the days have gotten short, and it gets dark around 5 o'clock, and that's about the time when I finish up working around for Dave, and then I start my own projects. So this winter has gotten super cold, and there's been sort of an issue now with it being this cold that I had to drain out the tanks on the Fortress project. The tower that has the water tanks, I drained it out. I didn't want it to freeze and break valves. So it looks like I'm probably done with all the concrete for this year, and I'm gonna have to wait till spring. I do plan on start making the window and door frames for the Fortress, but since I got this forklift, I need to get it operating quick. I'm gonna work on that. So I'm inside where it's nice and warm, but we'll go outside and I'll show you what I've got. I lifted it up, got a couple jacks underneath. I've already taken one of the wheels off. So this is what it looks without the wheel on. Let me get a little more light here. And back in 1962, they had disc brakes. It was pretty impressive. So I'm gonna take this one off next, because these are the two flat ones. And then I will be using this piece of equipment, and I will have to turn on some lights. I have to turn some lights on in order to see this, because I'm gonna go through some of this stuff. I've already taken apart the other tire, but thinking back on it, I will show how I basically take off this one here, because there's split rims, a bit of a pain to do, a little bit easier with this excavator, but there's still issues. The rubber doesn't like to bend the way I want it to. So I'll get prepped for that. one actually came off a little easier as far as being loose. The other one I had to use a sledgehammer. The bolts on the lug nuts on this are 1.5 inch, just for future reference. That's standard size. For some reason it just wanted to hang up on here. I don't really know why, but that's the way it goes. So now I'm going to roll it over and look about trying to take this split rim apart. Well, I may not need the excavator to really take this tire apart. You notice that it's already pushed pretty much off the rim where the split rim is on. So basically I'm just gonna have to grab it. This, and it also looks like this is a different style of rim. This rim right here looks to be like a newer style, and there's where the O-ring goes. So this rim was initially designed for tubeless. So is this one tubeless? Because here's the other one. If you look at the split ring, this just locks the other ring in place. While on this one, it's a little bit bigger. Well, here's the split rim. It has this big, huge sliding in piece, and then this is the part that holds it. So looking at this, these are two different types of rims. They look identical from the other side though. Offsets look the same. I cannot really tell the difference from this side, but this one, if I get an O-ring right here, I don't need to have an inner tube. And I'm wondering if this thing probably does have an inner tube in it. I've got to take that off of there and push this in, because I think this has a tube. So if it has a tube, I will just reuse, I'll just put another tube in it, call it good. But okay, that's surprising. Two types of rims on this piece of equipment. It's okay. Now, one thing I noticed is if I flip this tire around, this ring is still seated up pretty firmly. That is an issue that with having these things being a tubeless type. They get in there really tight. So I'm going to try to drop the rim out. Gotta get this unscrewed, and then I will lift it up with my little claw. All right, well, let's get that tube unscrewed. Well, I got it holding, so now I've got to push it out. This is gonna take some work. Yeah, I'll probably have to do some elbow grease and some tapping and pounding, and let's see if we can get it off. Won't really be able to show you doing it. I don't got anything set up to hold the camera and do it, so you'll probably see the aftermath. After a lot of work, this rim was easy to start but hard towards the finish. The split rim, I just was able to slide it off. I finally got it to this point, so it looks like I'm about ready to come apart. Get my wooden blocks out, and let's see if we can get it to come off. it's just sort of catching. There's a lip right there that's not a smooth lip, and it's catching right over here. So I'm going to tighten the claw just slightly. I don't want to damage the rim. I'll tighten the claw. Now I've tightened the claw enough so that the rim doesn't move around too much. I'm just still trying to get it to... Oh, there she goes. Yep. Is there an inner tube in there? Yep, definitely an inner tube. So, inner tube's not really designed to be in here. And might. Thinking I'm just gonna clean up this rim. Put it together without a tube, maybe. I'll have to think about that. All right, so I'm gonna get all this stuff inside where it's warm. It's cold outside. I got the main part of the rim out. This one section of the split rim is stuck in there really good. So what I'm just gonna be doing here, taking this tire bar. Unfortunately here at this shop we only have one. Got a few more. It's really difficult. I can't really put anything underneath to push down on the rubber because this lip right here is very, very thin. So I'm just gonna have to keep working with the bar. This one's turning out to be the biggest pain of all of them so far. So let's see if hopefully I can get this thing off. For like seriously an hour, I've been going around the bar, tweaking it back like that, and adding soapy water in there. And finally, after getting enough soapy water and then pounding with this little tool right here, I'm just starting to get it to move. I'm just gonna have to just keep moving slowly around, using that and pounding it in place with this little sledgehammer, which is pretty broken little handle on it. So just gonna keep working that around, just keep working around, and hopefully I won't be here another hour. Finally got it off. This is a tough little booger. So basically, before I put these together, I am going to sandblast these rusty pieces, make them nice and smooth. So if I have a flat or something, I'll be able to replace them without all the effort that it took this time. I'm really thinking, yeah, I'm gonna try to make this one tubeless, not put a tube in this one, because the tires I have are tubeless tires. But no, this one's a split rim. Sorry, this one is the tubeless down here. So that's a tube rim, tubeless rim. That's pretty interesting. They look almost identical, just for a few little modifications. I probably need to look around, see if I can find some more rims, like some tubeless rims. Even though it's a little harder to do that, it's much easier putting back together. So, well, that's going to be enough for tonight. I'm pretty pooped out, and tomorrow we have the sandblaster compressor here with the sandblaster available. So lunchtime, hopefully I can get all this stuff sandblasted and then paint the inside or something to try to keep them from corroding, and then put these tires back together. So thanks everyone. I'm glad I've had so many viewers. One thing, before I forget, I'm trying to see if I can get to 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. So it will be totally wizard if we can get 100,000 subscribers by the end of this month. So if you can help out, please subscribe if you haven't, like if you liked it, and just keep watching the videos. And I thank you so much. See you later.